All right, welcome to the North Fork Experience, the podcast where we explore the journeys of exceptional individuals and businesses shaping our communities and industries. I'm your host, Kirk Hays, and today we have a Philadelphia native who brings a deep, decade-long history in real estate, blending a passion for the city's architectural integrity with the sharp analytical skills of an investor. Please welcome Andre Quain.
Thanks for having me.
Andre, it's fantastic to have you. We'll dive right into your North Fork experience here. Andre, you're a Philadelphia native with a great appreciation for the city's diversity, culture, and architectural integrity. How does this deep personal connection to Philadelphia enhance your ability to excel in matching people with properties?
I just know the city as well as you could. So if someone's looking for a specific type of living situation, I can pretty much show them what they're looking for. So I'm saying basically, if you want to be near coffee shops and bars and restaurants, there's neighborhoods for that. If you want to be near like parks and like maybe accessibility to highways and the airport's important. Like I know where all that is, and I know like the ins and outs of all those neighborhoods. I pretty much service at one point in time probably every zip code in Philadelphia.
Yeah, it helps having that experience. It's certainly a large area, but knowing the real intricacies of it can really help get people where they want to be and put them in the right situation.
For sure. It's a diverse city too. We have a lot of different neighborhoods to offer people. So I don't think the overall reputation of Philadelphia is accurate. Like if you want like a small, quiet neighborhood, we have that. If you want to be downtown, we have that. So we offer a lot.
Yeah, it seems like a really unique place from some of the discussions that I've had here, where you can really get some diverse areas. Like you hit on real quick there, some of the people from outside the area have their own thoughts about how the area works a little bit, but it's nice getting to discuss things with people like you that really genuinely know that area and know the different parts of it.
For sure.
So prior to real estate, you worked with your family's commercial construction business. How has that background shaped your understanding of historic homes and allowed you to be instrumental in Philadelphia's growth?
So I have a pretty deep background in construction. I started working for my uncle's paving company when I was 13. So I did that off and on my entire life. We still even combine on jobs once in a while. And I bartended for a while too. So I went to school and all that, and I just didn't it wasn't really for me. So then I was doing the construction thing and bartending. I was doing both. So there was days where I would work all day and then go bartend all night.
Huh.
I couldn't do that now. That was definitely for me in my 20s, not in my 40s.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's great. So I guess the number one thing, is a lot of realtors, and I'm not going to trash the industry, but a lot of realtors don't know much about homes. Like they know neighborhood stuff and they know this is a nice house, this is pretty tile. But a lot of realtors honestly don't know how water heater works or what kind of furnace you have, like the ampage or the electric box. But and I don't know every single little thing. I still always recommend getting a home inspection.
Absolutely.
Especially a first time home buyer. But I can walk through a house this might be an issue. This looks like it's outdated. This wiring looks old. And not everyone can do that. But you could learn how to do that if you wanted to. But I intend all my home inspections.
Yeah. Yep. Now I can see how having that background is really critical. Like you said, you can learn that stuff and you can try to kind of play catch up. But for someone like you, whose family's been in that sort of business for quite some time, I'm sure that is extremely helpful in you seeing some of those issues that maybe some other realtors would overlook or not know about as, that they could be issues like that.
If you can save somebody time and money, it will be appreciated.
Yeah, and people respect that. I'm sure it goes a long way in getting you repeat business too, and word of mouth is oftentimes the best advertising. And, when you treat people like that and you really try to go the extra mile to save them a buck here and there and
sure.
point out some issues, it can really be helpful.
For sure.
So your vast knowledge of each neighborhood is what makes you excel in matching people with properties. What's the process for truly understanding the nuances of a neighborhood, and how do you translate that into knowledge and value for your clients?
So that's a lot of questions. I think we have a lot of neighbors that are changing too, where we've had a huge pre-COVID boom and even bigger post-COVID boom. And only right now is it not slowing down, but feels more normal. It was breakneck speed, development everywhere. Neighborhoods you wouldn't think to live in have totally transformed into a really nice place now. Some people, one thing I'll say is that if you were from Philadelphia, there's certain neighborhoods you want. And then if you're coming in from outside the city, there's other neighborhoods that people want. So like, I don't know if you're familiar with Fishtown. Fishtown gets a lot of like national media coverage, like international coverage. And it's basically, it's on the northeastern part of the city. It's not Northeast Philadelphia. That's a different neighborhood, but on a map, it's the northeast section of Philadelphia. Small neighborhood. It's zip code's 19125. I have an office in that neighborhood. It is incredible. Like it was nothing. Like it was nothing 20 years ago. And it is one of the most vibrant, like electric neighborhoods in the city. There's so
Wow,
much
yeah.
going on. Like you have restaurateurs from other places coming in, opening places. La Colombe started there, that coffee company. It's like the
Uh-huh.
base is there. Hotels are popping up, which is strange because like most neighborhoods don't have hotels. Typically that's reserved to Center City, but Fishtown has hotels. It's almost like its own thing. And so like people who are coming in from like New York specifically love Fishtown. Love that because it's 95 corridor too. It's like you're
Yep.
right down the shoot down right up from New York and Jersey. That's a crazy neighborhood. It's like really amazing to see what happened there. Because I'm telling you, when I was a kid, like you would not go to Fishtown. You would not.
Really? That's interesting.
You wouldn't go near it. Like there'd be no reason to, unless you were getting into trouble. You know.
Uh-huh.
But we have a lot of neighborhoods like that. Like Point Breeze is another one, which is section of South Philadelphia. I used to live there actually, where it was just like it was always fine, nothing wrong with it, but it was just quiet, like nothing going on. And then it just started like booming, like new construction here and there. It was affordable, so developers were getting in cheap, really cheap, and they're building all these like the whole blocks of new construction, and the coffee shops come in and all that. And it's always been a great location because it's on a map. It's southwest of Center City, but super close, like
Uh-huh.
walkable to Center City. It should have boomed before, but now it's going well. And then we have I don't know how familiar with the city, but we have a whole northwestern section, which would be like Manayunk, Roxborough, East Falls, Germantown, Mount Airy, Chestnut
Okay.
Hill,
Yeah.
and that area is awesome. That's where I live now. But it's like we're like you're not. It doesn't feel like you're in the city, but you are. It's like 20 minutes downtown driving, trains everywhere. It's like even less than 20 minutes. You catch the train the right time. And this is where I live is an area where a lot of people who have lived in Center City, lived in South Philly, are like, oh, cool, the city's a lot. Let me go stay in the city, but you know, we're right near the park and all that. It's a little quieter.
Very interesting. Yeah. So I live in Western Pennsylvania, and I actually spent a year living just outside of Philadelphia my first year out of
Cool.
college. Yeah, it was busy then. Like there was a lot of new stuff going on and a lot happening, and I can only imagine how much that changed in the last 20 years. It's I'm sure, like you said, the areas changed pretty dramatically even back then, and I'm sure it's just continued from there. So.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's nice to see too because for so long, like I was born in '82, so like, I grew up in the '90s in the city, and it was like people say like, oh, the city is like dangerous. I'm like, you don't remember what it was like, man. Like, cause it was there were whole areas you couldn't go to, and now it's not
Yep.
like that at all.
Yep. So when I was out there, I actually did environmental consulting work, and there were some areas downtown or across the river there in Camden, I believe it was called. And
Yeah,
part of our work was, yeah, you're not allowed to be here after night because or after dark because
yeah,
yeah, the area
especially in
was
Camden. Camden's wild.
yeah, it was a little sketchy.
Yeah,
Yeah, but all right, yeah. Switching gears a little bit. So your passion for
sure.
restoring and maintaining the city's deep history led you to purchase, renovate, rent, and sell your own proproperties. How does having
Yes.
this experience as both an agent and investor give you a deeper connection to your client's journey?
Oh, it's just the fact that you've done it before. They're like, oh, this is the process. This is what will be like. You have to hire a contract. You have to get bids. Even that process for like, an investor or someone, if it's a turnkey property, you're always be like, oh, well, this what rents here. Like I used to have a property over here. It's like the more experience you build, it makes it easier. When you're new, you're like afraid of every question you get because you're like, I can't stumble on this. Like they're not going to work with me. I have to get a deal closed. But once you're like, the deal doesn't make or break your business. Like you can actually do a good job. You know.
Yeah, yep,
And be all the way honest and but just knowing like hey, listen, like this is in decent shape. Make sure you caulk your it's little tiny stupid things that you think like make sure you caulk your windows. You probably got to do the roof in a couple of years, like things like that. But what we do like on our the other business side is We basically will buy a house that nobody wants. Like no one wants it. Like it's terrible, like whatever it is. And we do full gut renovation on like small row homes. We just started more so like this year doing client work. So like someone wants a new kitchen or something. My wife kind of handles that stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
So she's at right now. She's at an appointment, like doing a bid for a kitchen. So we just started doing that like this year, a year and a half or so. And it's a great way to meet people, right? Because if someone is redoing their house, they're not happy with their house, right? So they're 100% someone who's like a potential real estate client as well,
Absolutely. Yeah.
right? So it all plays in together. And like so like my brother-in-law runs like a large construction company in the city now, called Third Story Philly, and their main business is building like additional third floor. A lot of our houses, like this probably like 2-story small row homes. The primary business is adding a third floor to that, right?
Uh-huh.
And then I'll meet people and they're like, oh man, well, like, I like it, but like it's too small. I'm like, well, you could do this. And
Uh-huh.
I have a lot of like different buckets I can reach into to help somebody out.
Yeah, what a great spot for you to be in with, having that experience and, knowing the people that have done it before and you having some experience with it yourself. You can really help people and, you know, uh, make them make good informed decisions too. And they can really, I'm sure you're someone they can really count on that with having that experience, you can put them on the right track for sure. So that's crucial.
Yeah, and I love doing it. Like it makes me happy. If anyone found what they should be doing in life, it's me. Like it's exactly
Nice.
like
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yep. So your dual role of an agent and investor gives you a more analytical approach to ensure clients make the best decisions. How do you diligently stay abreast of current market trends, and what factors allow you to quickly assess whether investment makes financial sense or not?
well, so this past couple of years with the interest rate hike and all the market's like topsy turvy to say the least. Right now it's difficult to analyze deals, right? So like, especially if it's like a new build for like apartments or something like that. I had a client recently who already owns the land. He's considering doing like 4 2-bedroom apartments in one building. And like, I was running the numbers and like, it's difficult. So it's going to be what kills us all, but I've been using a lot of AI to like analyze like deals. Hey, like what would this like look like? And like, can you run all the numbers through this and that? And it's something I could do. And you have to double check everything because it's not 100% accurate, but it gives you an excellent starting point to break something down. It skips hours of work that you'd have to do, like handwriting notes to get to where it's like 10 minutes. So I'm
Yeah,
using a lot of
it's a
AI,
great tool. Go
and
ahead.
it's scary sometimes because I'm like, man, you almost don't need me anymore.
Yeah. In real estate, they'll always need that personal approach for sure, that
You need
personal touch.
somebody.
But yeah, it's certainly a great tool if you use it correctly. It can save you quite a bit of time and make you so much more efficient.
But like 101 breaking down a deal though, back to the original question. Basically, like if you have to say, oh well, it will probably be worth more later, then it's not right. It's incorrect. Like if it makes sense right now, that's great. People get in a lot of trouble speculating on real estate. Investing is different than speculating, right? So people will come in, but oh, there's a lot going on in this next neighborhood over here. For sure, it will trickle over here. That's gambling on real estate.
Yeah.
Like
Uh huh.
that might happen, and it has happened. But there's times where it has not happened, and you're sitting on, you're catching the falling knife sometimes. So anything that doesn't look, anything that has what if maybes in it is not a good investment.
Gotcha. Yep. Yeah, that's good information to have for sure. As someone that's been down that road and done it before.
We
So excellent.
we have one dud. We have one dud that's been a headache since I bought it, and every year it's just like why.
Yeah, that's not too bad. You're still doing pretty well if you only got one. So yeah, I'm sure it happens to everybody where like you said, the neighborhood doesn't work out, or
I
you start
guarantee
getting into the house and it takes a little bit more work than you wanted to. Or
yeah, every investor who owns rental properties has one. They're like, man, if I could just like not have had that one,
yeah,
you know.
I'm sure. So excellent negotiation skills and effective communication are the benchmark of your success. In the current market, how do you leverage these skills to overcome challenges and achieve successful outcomes for both buyers and sellers?
So right now, specifically right now, like November, I think what they're saying is the slowest historical year in real estate sales since the 80s or something. Um, if you have a buyer who's like serious, there's great deals for them, right? Because like there's so many people who are like, oh, what's going on? There's so much anxiety this time of year if you have a property on the market, because like now you're going into next tax year, and all that. When your plan was to unload this property, deal with the taxes this year, and then go from there. But so like if someone, it's like you don't take advantage of people because there's, people aren't, you're not going to get anything for free. But if you're a buyer right now and you find something, especially if it needs a little bit of work, needs to be painted, kitchen's old, anything that's like not 100% turnkey, there's room. There's room on those prices for sure, especially if it's an investor, something like that. For the sellers right now, like what I do is I take like a really deep like marketing approach. Like I advertise in the city, obviously, but if it's like a new construction and like an up and coming neighborhood, a lot of my marketing goes out of state. Like I advertise to a few brokers in New York who I know personally, North Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, the whole area. The way the world is now, you can't just like throw it on the MLS, make an Instagram post, and then that's it. Like you have to work to market the property.
Gotcha. Yeah.
On the listing side.
Yeah, understandable. Yeah, from some of the conversations that I've been having here, it seems like it's not really a buyer's or seller's market right now. It's kind of balanced out a little bit from a little bit of what I'm hearing. I don't know if that's the case in your neck of the woods there or not, but
it is the most confusing market to navigate because in the suburbs, like I just listed a property in East Norriton, kind of near the King of Prussia Mall. I already have like 4 offers on it, and we've only been on the market since Monday. So like
really,
the suburbs are selling easily. The city's a little slower, but if you're in like the high, like the top tier A+ neighborhoods, things are selling easily in the city if they're turnkey. People
gotcha.
are
Yep.
like, I think the whole like oh, it's like a fixer upper. I think that might be dying out a little bit. I don't think everyone has the same motivation to do that. Like during COVID, you would like buy a house fixer upper, and like you were like working like 2 days a week, right? So you were like I have all this time, and plus construction costs are incredibly high right now.
Yeah. Yep.
Even like buying paint, I think paint's like tripled in the past like 5 years price.
COVID changed so much during that time. It certainly changed so much in the world. I worked oil and gas for a long time. I was an engineer in the oil and gas industry, and that was my first layoff there when we slowed
Yeah.
down there. So it crashed a lot of things there, and like you said, made the housing costs and the material costs get a little crazy as well there.
I was busy in 2020. We were just doing like things a lot differently. And I had one guy who's buying a house, excellent, fun, like awesome guy to work with. He worked for Boeing, and we're about to go to closing. He had a furlough, right? Like he had a mandatory furlough. And then on the lending side, that like screws everything up. It's like, oh, you're like unemployed technically for like this. So things were like crazy that year. So you were like just jumping through hoops, figuring things out. So basically, we had like move settlement up. Then he furloughed after settlement. It was just like, it was so crazy. Like it was like every day was like the news was insane, right? And the stock market's like insane. Housing's insane. Everyone's crazy. Like
yeah, it was a wild time for sure. Glad we got past that, and still feeling some effects from it, I think, but we made it through anyway.
I mean, the world will never be the same. Like it's like totally different. Yeah.
Won't go back to pre-COVID, I don't think either. Yeah.
No.
Yep. So you are a best of Zillow agent and a top agent in the Philadelphia metro area. What do you believe are the key habits or strategies that contribute to achieving this consistent level of success year after year?
The number one thing agents don't do is follow up. So don't harass people, but call them until they say, "Hey, I'm not interested. Thanks for calling, but get out of here." But if you have me out there showing you houses and I call you the next day, I expect you to get back to me. And there's a way to be like subtle about it. No one wants to be like hounded, but like you send an email, you send a text, and you call. And it sounds so simple, but agents will just like show a house, get a bad feeling about the client, and just never talk to them again. No, it didn't work out. How do you know? Like I've had clients who I never thought I'd work with, who I would just send emails to, put them in like my mail list, whatever, call them, text them once in a while, and then end up buying a house. Like it happens more often than you would think. Or they're like, "Hey, I'm not looking, but my friend is."
Yeah, just
be
staying
available,
up with people.
Follow up. And I mean, I shouldn't even say this. Okay, anyone else hears this, but like, if agents followed up, they'd be fine.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hey,
a lot
listen,
of times
it
that's
might
all it's
take
about.
2 years. It might be like,
Yep.
hey, 2 years later, this guy didn't even buy a house, but his uncle's selling like a nice house, and he was like, "Hey, this guy keeps calling me. I don't know. He seems like a nice guy. Want to try him out?" And it doesn't matter. Like just being in front of people, being available, being around, and then when you have your opportunity, like don't mess up. Like know what you're
Yep.
talking about.
Yeah, keep in front of mind is a big aspect to any business, really. It's if as someone who's able to reach out, like you said, just a quick email or text, it makes it easy for them to choose you over someone else that's not doing that and not willing to put in that
They know
work.
how to
It
get a
makes
hold of
them,
you because you
yeah,
text them
they
last week.
understand it.
You know
They understand you're attentive and you're going to be able to, it's going to be easy to get a hold of you and you're going to work for them.
exactly, and it's like it's so. And at our brokerage meetings, this is like one thing they harp on all the time. And listen, and I used to be guilty of it too. Like I'm like, they didn't seem like they were serious.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not today, but maybe like 2 years from now.
Yeah. Yep.
It was
Yeah. So
so
yeah,
busy
it's
for so long that like we would in like so you would I'd in like during like the COVID market, right? So I'd meet somebody like in the morning to do a showing, right? And then like they're like, hey, I want to put an offer in over asking price like that afternoon. And there was the one time I remember I was like, I don't know this guy's last name. Like I can't even like
yeah.
write him because sometimes you can find it in the email, figure it out. But I was like, I'm almost embarrassed. I have to call this. I was like, hey man, like, I don't. Sorry, I know it's Maggie today, but like, I don't know your last name. Like, it's a big
Uh,
Zillow lead or something comes in,
yeah. Yeah.
and that was funny. And it was like, you're that busy that like you're like not getting to know these people. So agents got used to that like chaotic, like, oh, I'll show them 3 houses and they'll buy one. That's not normal. Like normal market is like, this might take 6 months, and they get used to the fast money. A lot of these agents, so they're having a hard time adjusting to it, I guess.
Yeah, one of the really cool things about business, and I look at you guys as realtors, kind of as your own business there, certainly is that you just never know like what person's going to be that, maybe the golden ticket, let's call it, that, what extra outreach or email or extra text message might, really put you in a good situation there with a great client that, maybe they buy several houses off of you if they're an investor. You just never
Absolutely,
know what thing is going to put you over that next step with people and really help you out there.
for sure. My mechanic, so like I've been going to do for a long time. He was like, "Oh man, I want to buy some houses. Like I like real estate." I'm like, "Ah, whatever." He's just like being nice, whatever. Like, and then one day he's like, "Hey," he called me. He's like, "I want to talk to you about real estate." I was like, "All right, I go." So I go to the shop. We're hanging out. We're friends. Like we're like friendly.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "Hey, I need to sell some of these houses my family has." And I'm like, "What?" Like it's so unsuspecting. You would never think like
Yeah.
this dude. I think we did like 4 or 5 deals like 1 year. Like
Uh-huh.
I sold that many houses from him 1 year. And this is
Yeah.
a guy who's like, he's a mechanic. He's always working. And you're like, how's this guy have time to even buy the properties? Like,
Yeah.
you're
Yep.
like, but
Just something
you
like
never
that
know.
you never would have expected turned into something really valuable for you.
You never know.
Yep. So looking ahead, what key trends or shifts do you anticipate in the Philadelphia real estate market, especially concerning the demand for historic properties versus new construction, and how do you plan to adapt?
We'll probably see new construction slow down. But there's so many people like who have unfinished projects right now who I'm working with, like hands on with right now. I don't know. I mean, if we can get rates to come down, I think it's booms. I think there's a lot of pent up demand. And new construction versus like older houses. We have a lot of older houses, but the neighborhoods like Germantown, Mount Airy, most like the big old houses, they're always in demand and they sell right away because they're so unique. It's like owning a piece of art. It's like living like a time capsule, like an art piece. New construction wise, I'm seeing like too many apartment builds, like build to rent, specifically in like right like on like the waterfront on like the Delaware Riverside, kind of near where Fishtown is. A lot of like huge developments, and they look nice and all that, but like I just think they're overbuilding apartments right now. Like they're overbuilding. Like, they're doing 1,500 units at like Broad and Washington, which is like a huge intersection, which is it's an important part of the city. 1,500 units, and like there's like a couple hundred parking spots. Like so
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it gets kind of crazy. I'd like to see people do more generally, like instead of just like knocking stuff down. I like to see more renovation versus new construction.
Uh-huh.
But that's just like a personal thing. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
I work with both all the time. The build to rent will probably stay popular. I think.
Gotcha.
And hope, I mean, 50-year mortgage, whatever, see how that
Yeah.
plays out.
Yeah. Never know what you might see come out of that. Yeah.
Yeah, so whatever. At least they're thinking of different things to help, put some
Trying
juice back
something. Yeah.
into it, right? Like whatever it ends up being, like that, the fact that they're even talking about it is, I think, good, right?
Yeah. Looking at how things are now, I'm so thankful I got into my house like 10 years ago and
All right.
we're all paid off, and yeah, it makes it so
Best time
much
to buy real
easier.
estate was yesterday.
Yeah, for sure. It really is. My investments personally have been mostly in land, actually, just rural real estate. And man, it's even worse there. I feel like the prices have gone crazy in that.
Where do you live now?
North of Pittsburgh, about an hour and a half.
Cool. So
Yes.
so you're near Erie at all?
Kind of between Pittsburgh and Erie, yeah.
So like my in-law family, my wife's family, her dad was in radio. It's a long story, but her dad was in radio, and he opened up a station in Erie. They
Okay.
lived in Philadelphia, so he had to go to work all the time. He didn't want to live in Erie part time, so there's a town in New York actually called Chautauqua.
Okay.
Are you
Yeah. I know some
familiar?
people that live there. Yeah.
So they got this cabin in Chautauqua, and this was probably like, I don't know, probably the '90s. I'm not sure when it happened, but it's cool. So I spend a lot of time there now. So like I drive like through the state, and then we spend time in it's near Lake Erie, but it's a smaller lake called Lake Chautauqua.
Yep.
So I'm
Yeah.
in
It's
that part of the
kind of like
country a lot.
it's a nice little community up there for sure on the lake. Yeah, it's I've known some
Oh, it's
people that
unique,
lived
man.
up
It's
there.
pretty cool. Like sometimes we'll go up through New York and we'll go to Corning, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So I spend a lot of time, like a lot of people from Philadelphia don't go to New York and they go to Florida. Like I've
Huh.
been like all over the state.
Yeah, I've lived chasing oil and gas. I've lived pretty much everywhere in
That's
Pennsylvania and
cool.
been all over the country where there's a gas well.
Yeah. So it's like New York, PA, or Ohio, or like that's where all like the gas is.
Yep. I've lived pretty much in everywhere around there for sure. So,
Cool.
yep. So, Andre, this conversation been incredibly insightful. Truly
Awesome, man.
showcases your unique blend of market knowledge, construction background, and dedication to your clients and community. Your North Fork experience is a powerful example of how deep local passion drives professional success. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us today.
Awesome, man. Thank you. It was a pleasure. I had fun. I was a little bit nervous, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, gotcha. Before we wrap up here, for our listeners in Philadelphia Metro or anyone looking to reach out to you, drop some information on how everybody can get a hold of you.
So you can go to my website, andrequain.com. You can find me on Instagram. Let me make sure I give you the right one. You can find me on Instagram at Andre Quain Real Estate. And then pretty much it. Yeah. You'll get a hold of me that way.
Perfect. Yeah. Well,
Don't
we'll make
call me.
sure we
Just
include
kidding.
that in the show notes. So, yeah, I appreciate it. So that's all for this episode of the North Fork Experience. A huge thank you again to our incredible guest, Andre Quain, and thank you all for your tuning in. Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep experiencing all that our communities have to offer. Thank you.
Thank you.